Eventually they will have like a little sunflower on top, and then when they die back around October, November, between October and December, then the potato part will, the tuber part will be able to be dug up underground. Over here I have a corn. It's actually starting to grow. So here it is, and it's actually starting to grow. It's a little corn tassel over here. Started to come out. So I had to kind of keep it straight. It's been falling over because we've been getting so much rain and wind, hoping it will actually pollinate itself. I'm not sure with all the wind, so I'm hoping it will. I have another corn over there that's starting to sprout. And over here, my 2 potatoes. One of them is starting to have a purple. I think this one is the red one, I'm not sure. And then another one with the white potato, the white flowers. I believe that's the regular. I'm not really sure what. I just got them from the store, so I just kind of planted them. But it's the regular white potato. I'm gonna see if they will grow the berries with the seeds in there, to see if I can get the seeds. This one here is a snap pea, and I should be able to grab this one. So I'm hoping this one, it's still a little bit soft, so I'm waiting for it to harden up to see if it grows a little bit more. So these ones here are the snap peas growing along here. This one here is growing actually pretty big up here. That one's growing pretty big. So that's this side of my vegetable garden. Over here I have my Brussels sprouts. And right now I think it's getting some sort of a moth bug eating away at it. I had to pull 2 of them out over there. So I'm trying to see if I can put like this over to see if, but it's still getting eaten. It looks like it is gonna start getting some sprouts on it, but I'm hoping it doesn't get eaten by this bug. So. And right now with all the rain, like I said, I'm starting to get a lot of ants again. This one here, like I said, I'm just using dressers right now, dresser drawers for my raised beds right now. This one here is a sorghum. It's kind of like a corn, but stalk can be cut down and made into like a sugar. The grain can be like a gluten-free grain you can make into like a flour or something. This little plant over here. Oh, again, I have is a borage plant, and this is good for pollinators, but it's also an edible plant. It has like a little blue flower on there, but you can also eat it. Like I say, every part of that is supposed to be edible, but it's very, and I'm gonna have to dump some of this out here because you see all the ants over here. And again, I'm hoping I have to get a lot of, I do not have enough. It's supposed to taste like cucumber. It's the first time I planted it. Is a daikon radish. It's supposed to help with your compaction in the soil, but it also sticks up out of the ground. So it is starting to grow pretty good though. I actually had planted some more, but one of them took, so it's actually growing pretty good. And over here I have 2 squash, or zucchini. It's actually zucchini, but so 2 of them are growing pretty good. I'm gonna have a couple weeds growing in here. And I did plant some tomatoes in here, but they did not take. Obviously, I don't think tomatoes like the rain too well. Again, I have some more Jerusalem artichokes over here, and they're taking off pretty good. Another set of Jerusalem artichokes over here, and then I have another potato over here that took off. That was kind of a surprise. I didn't think this, the potato, I thought was actually kind of I thought it was a rotten tomato, but it ended up being still good, and I planted it and it kind of took off. It's a little bit late bloomer, but see if it still grows. And over here I have this here is a globe artichoke, and then I have, and I'll be honest, I planted some other things in here and I'm not really sure. I was trying to put some celery in here and some other stuff, and then I didn't think they took, and then I planted other stuff, so now I'm not sure what took and what did not take. So it's edible, I'm just not sure what it is. So I will see. And right now I'm just trying to prevent any bugs and birds from getting hit with these little cages on it. So, and I'm gonna have to get a trellising support thing, because these are actually growing pretty good actually. I had 4, one of them didn't, one of them kind of died off. So 3 of my cucumbers are actually taking. I do have to get a trellis thing up here to hold these up. So these are actually taking pretty good. And I had some bell pepper in here as well, but the bell pepper looks like they died. Looks like I still have 1 in here, but I don't know if it's gonna take. Either that or the birds grabbed it. And then I had some, I think I had some celery and stuff in here, and I'm not sure if it took. With all the rain, like I said, I think a lot of it got washed out, or the birds took some of the seeds. So. And I'm about to take a dresser out from one that got broken, so I'm about to take that out to use it as a raised bed. And I'm going to plant some sweet potatoes from some slips that I made. So I'm about to do that a little bit later today. Over here I had some pear trees that I'd taken out a couple this last fall. Basically, from the roots, it started to regrow. So I'm going to see if this one will take a little bit better than the other tree did, because it had some moth bug or something eat away at the trunk. So hopefully this one will take better. And that is my yard so far. We'll go in the front yard and see what we got going on there. Okay, this is my front yard. What I did is what I intend to do here. This is my hugelkultur mound, which starts to look like my clover is starting to grow. These are my clover. Again, clover is an edible nitrogen fixer for the soil. And then I have some echinacea growing in here and some other flowers that will gradually take over, as well as the sink, some old sinks that I had found, which I'm making. As you see, there's some bird seed in there, as well as I was trying to make a little bird bath with all the rain and everything there. I have to clean it out now with all the rain. And but the birds, I do have a family of cardinals that live over here in my arbor area. They do have a little nest in there. So they do kind of like this little area. They do get their food here every once in a while. And they kind of fly back and forth here to the backyard as well. The compost area, they do like my compost area because they find a lot of bugs in there as well, grubs and whatnot in there. And I did kind of make like a lot of homemade, not that they really use this that much, but looks like they've been using it. I kind of have a little bird feeder in there. They've been using it here and there as well because they like this. Got a lot of shade here for them too. So this is my herb area, but a lot of my herbs did not take. I only have like 3 that took, which isn't really going too well. I got my sage, which is starting to grow, which I'm getting ants in here. Which I get a lot of ants here. And this is Texas. We get fire ants, so they're not fun. And this is crimson clover. I also have red clover, which is a smaller clover, but that's edible again, like I said. This one here is getting some. And this one here is dill, which hasn't really started to come up, but some of it is. I do got some in here though. And I have some parsley. So parsley is starting to come up. And then over here, this one's growing actually fairly decent, and this is my rosemary. So my rosemary is coming up okay. And I have, these are my rain barrels here so far. I haven't really made a catchment thing to actually, where I can keep this down and open it. So right now I just kind of open it as the rain comes in, and I just kind of catch just an old plastic garbage can. These are another 5, like a tote for my potatoes. These should be getting ready to harvest here pretty soon. I'm just waiting for it to kind of turn completely yellow. Again, it's getting the little flowers on there. Pretty little flowers though, they are pretty. So like I say, I'm just waiting for it to turn more yellow, because my other one I had, we did harvest the other bucket, the one in the Ace Hardware, because it was starting to turn yellow. So I did harvest the one in there about 2 weeks ago. So that one potato that was in there, we got about 7 potatoes out there, various sizes. So it was a pretty good size harvest off of there. But like I say, I didn't let it go to flower. It had like a couple yellow leaves on there, so I just harvested. So I want to see how many I can get out of here. This one has two potatoes. This one here, the big leaves are 1. And this one here with the smaller ones, this is a separate one here. So this one's not getting as big, but this one here should be ready to harvest once it starts turning all yellow. This one here is my carrots. I should have probably put more dirt in here. But again, most of my dirt is leaf mold that I've gotten from the leaf compost bin that I got in the back. So it is starting to grow. It's just being very patient. It's just being very slow, I guess. And I did have a moringa tree in here, but it died, so I'll just have to empty that out. This is just some more clover and some wood sorrel. This is wood sorrel. It's an edible, forageable weed that you would naturally find over here. There's tons of this in my yard, and I do have more clover throughout. Like I said, I'm going to eventually get rid of all my grass and just have clover, but I got in some of these too. So, and then this is one of my sweet potatoes that I actually put in a pot. And I've been just grabbing the slips that I have from the house. I've just been cutting little slips, which I can probably cut a couple more slips off of. But there it is, it's like a little potted plant. And then this is one of my peach trees that I got from the seed, still growing. This one here is from well, it's actually from 2 seasons ago, from the seeds from 2 seasons ago. But I actually harvested the seed last year, not this spring, but last spring. So it's been growing, and this one made it through the frost and everything from the ice storm. So, and then these are my 2 pots of the lettuce that I had. And then I had some clover that kind of grew up in here as well. So, and then as we need lettuce, we can just come out here and cut some little things of lettuce off. This isn't the head lettuce. This is just kind of like leafy lettuce. So. Okay, and that's it for my yard. I just plan on, like I say, trying to convert my grass in my yard into like an edible landscape. So make it a landscape for my birds and as much for me and my family to use for. The other thing is, one thing you do need to find out though is, with your front yard, you do have to kind of make sure you are following your ordinances. Not to say that you can't have edible food in your yard, but you just can't have an actual garden in your front yard. Because at least in our city, we have an ordinance against this. So you do want to find out your laws and your ordinances accordingly. But you can find ways to incorporate that into your front yard if you need to. Just make it like a flower bed and just kind of incorporate that in. But most actual vegetable gardens, depending on your city ordinances, you can put in your backyard. So just find out that before you do that. Like I say, I'm just kind of making mine, kind of incorporating that into like flower beds or something like that. But yeah, other than that, just trying to make it I'm trying to be as self-sustaining as possible. I am a single person. My daughter does live with me, her and her kids, and just trying to be as budget friendly as possible. Thank you for watching. This is Life is a Journey, so I do want to try and encompass everything. I know lately it's been mostly about gardening, but right now gardening is the one thing that kind of is my hobby that makes me happy. But I do want to encompass a lot of other things as well as, some budget saving tips, and if you guys have anything that might help, that kind of thing as well, that you might know that is something. Like I say, I do own my home, or I'm in the process of buying my home, because yes, it's not paid for yet. But tips and tricks to kind of help make things more self-sustaining or self-sufficient. That's what I'm trying to do, and anything I can help or help anybody else to be more sustaining, because with this last year it was hard on everybody, and I want to help people as well. So any tips you can help me, or I can help with somebody else, that would be great. So I appreciate you watching. Again, this is Danny, and thank you for watching Life is a Journey.